in what order you will buy those heroes and what is the best order. Now Ben, I can't stress this enough. Ben is the best hero for the new players. Just go for the Ben and you will have no problems. Hello gamers, my name is KK and today we are creating a tier list for the new players. Which heroes are the best, and we will divide them by paid category and free category. Which heroes you need to use first and which heroes are not as essential, and the exact order in which you should be buying those heroes. And everything is backed up by the knowledge, data and my pro player experience as the player who has 1000 hours played into this game. Let's begin. But first, subscribe now and press the like button below this freaking video. Let's begin. So, as you can see, we have 4 categories here. First one is good. Okay, first one is good for you paid. Second one, bad for you paid, good for you free, and bad for you free. So the top ones are the more interesting and important ones because you pay monkey money for them, whereas the bottom one is just the regular heroes that you receive in the beginning of the game as the default. So let's begin with the free ones and then go upwards into the paid ones. So I intentionally divided them that harshly. In reality, if we were to estimate the heroes, I would say there should be 7 rankings, but I will oversimplify this and divide the heroes into 2 categories, for paid and for free, just so that people understand. If you don't agree with this, don't write this like in the comments with the billion words. These things are debatable, and I simply create the guidance for the new and less experienced players on which heroes they need first and which heroes are secondary. And keep this in mind, all heroes except Ezili are good and you can use them in some scenarios. Ezili is only good in the late game, but other than that she's trash. And I even will place her in the bad for you paid. Why Ezili is trash? Because she has weak damage and she doesn't really defend well against anything. You cannot use her level 10 ability in the impoppable and chimps mode. You don't get much use of her other than the late game bad popping power, and still with Ezili, if you play chimps with this hero, you need to spend $30,000 to level her up manually to level 20, and you are able to just pop the bet. Other than that, the use of her is very low, so this is the worst hero in the game. Don't buy it or buy her last. Now, as for the free heroes, so now that we have the utter garbage heroes of the way, let's begin. So the free heroes are Oben, Jones, Gwendolyn, and the Quincy. So I would say this is very rough, but I would say Gwen and Jones are bad for you free, while Oben and Quincy are good for you free. Look and now hear me out. Why are they good and why those are bad? Because each of these needs some explanation. I evaluate heroes based on how good are they in all game modes and how easy is to use them. And Oben, Greenfoot and Quincy are the easy heroes and they have a lot of buffs. Quincy, for example, has pretty good pierce. He or she can pop the camo balloons. Quincy also can pop lead balloons. Quincy has pretty good damage in the early, mid and late game, so it's a very balanced hero. Quincy's level 10 ability can pop the round 63 ceramics, round 78 ceramics, and overall a very enjoyable hero. And even on round 100, Quincy's level 3 ability can deal quite a significant damage to the bad balloon. I would say like 5000 pops easily. As for the Oben, Greenfoot, Oben is an essential hero. It's definitely the best hero from the free category. And what makes Oben so special? First is that he is pretty good in the early game, and he becomes more of a support hero in the mid and late game. Why he's good in the early game? Because he has alright popping power and the Brambles. Brambles is one of the very best tier level 3 abilities in the game for the heroes. What Brambles does for you, it gives you basically the obstacle that pops the balloons. With Brambles you can pop all balloon types except the lead balloons, and if you ALK buff Oben, you can even pop leads with Brambles. By level 7, Oben reaches the upgrade for the Brambles, which allows one Bramble to pop 100 balloons. And look, so the first time when you get Brambles on the chimps mode, for just so the point of reference, you get the Brambles before, I would say around 10 or so, and Brambles allow you to have the safety net in order to prevent the balloons from leaking. And the Brambles allow you to greed and not place the camo vision towers before round 24, because you can just eat the camo green balloon with the Brambles. And same thing goes for the round 33, where you have a lot of camo balloons. One Bramble of Oben can deal with round 33. This is a very useful and good hero. His main attack can help you deal with the leads on round 28 and round 30, and thus you are getting yourself a very solid package. On top of that, in the mid game, Oben reaches level 10 and it obtains the Wall of Trees. Wall of Trees is an extremely good ability for you. Why? First reason is Wall of Trees can suck up a lot of balloons in it and save your life. Second, it does not expire. Brambles do expire, but Wall of Trees is pretty much permanent if you don't pop it with the amount of balloons inside. So, and also the other like Easter egg, the hidden thing that most people don't really realize, the Wall of Trees regenerates. So if the capacity of the basic Wall of Trees on level 10 is around 1 Moab and 1 ceramic balloon. You don't need the numbers, just let's think in the actual in-game enemies, the balloons and the blimps. 1 Moab and 1 ceramic balloon and it will pop. So you wanna have like just the way how it regenerates. So assuming you have leaked 1 Moab inside the Wall of Trees, and then you don't leak any balloons in the Wall of Trees for 1 or 2 rounds. By the second round, the Wall of Trees will regenerate its full capacity, and you will be able to leak 1 or 2 Moabs again inside it. And if you have these tiny gaps of 1 to 2 rounds between the leaks in the Wall of Trees and the regeneration, you will be able to regenerate your Wall of Trees to the full capacity over and over again. And the biggest pro of this is that you will get higher capacity for the Wall of Trees as Oben levels up. And you don't need to replace the Wall of Trees, you just leave it. And for example, if Oben reaches like level 14, his Wall of Trees capacity increases and it automatically buffs the current Wall of Trees that you have on the map. So you aim for 1 good placement of Wall of Trees and you leave it like for 70 rounds. And this is a very good ability. Also one of the best abilities for the round level 10 ability. Also, Oben has the totem. Oben's totem is utterly broken thing because in the max level it slows everything down by 40%, including blimps. Everything except bad balloons. So the Moabs, BFBs, Zomagas, DDTs, purple balloons, ceramics, any type of the balloon, any rush, Oben's totem slows them down. And this is also a very powerful game mechanics that you obtain for free. And this is Oben hero for you. Very well balanced, and to be honest, it's one of the best heroes overall. I would say you can use him in any game mode, including chips and half cash mode, in poppable, ABR, any game mode, and you get a really solid deal. He cannot pop camo balloons, but judge also one more thing. He buffs the magic towers, and as you probably know, magic towers are the strongest towers in the game, such as Super Monkey, Ninjas, Alchemists that buff every tower, and Alchemists are essential for pretty much every build and strategy inside BTD 6. If you don't use Alchemists, by this point you are either inexperienced or just dumb. And so much potential with just one hero, and listen how much does it buff the magic towers. So it gives +5 range and +2 pierce. People ask me in the comments what is the difference between damage and pierce. So let's see. If we assume that like Ninja's Shuriken deals 1 damage but it has 2 pierce, it will deal the 1 pop twice. So the 1 Shuriken will be able to pop 2 balloons, but it will pop only 1 layer. But instead, if you had 2 damage but 1 pierce, it will pop only 1 out of 2 balloons, but it will pop 2 layers from the first balloon and it will not touch the second one. This is the difference between pierce. So if you have a lot of pierce is usually better than the damage. Damage is good against the blimps, but against mass groups of balloons, pierce is significantly better. If you have high pierce towers, you are able to deal with mass balloons and mass blimps much more efficient because their constant damage is being multiplied by the amount of pierce that those shots have. And Oben buffs pierce. And for the ninjas, for the super monkeys, like for the wizards, the potential is basically limitless. And I'm not gonna focus as much on the bad heroes. I'm just gonna tell you they are not bad overall, but they are bad for you in the beginner stages. You will be able to use them. Watch my other tier lists where I explain the strong sides of the weaker heroes, but not now. So Gwen is let's call it, is not as flexible of a hero. That's why you don't want to use her. She has alright damage, but you need to time her abilities well. You need to base your strategy around this hero, and the same problem is with Striker Jones. You need to play with the specific strategies in order to make this hero useful. The 2 strategies that work with Striker Jones are Mauler Spam and the Mortars. No other strategies are good with this hero, so this is why they are bad for the beginners. You don't wanna use the heroes that cannot be used with most of the towers. Okay, let's move on to the paid heroes, the reason why we are all here. To be honest, most of the paid heroes are really good, but let's begin with the bad ones. I already told you about Ezili, but now the heroes that you as the new player shouldn't buy. I'm gonna do 1 good hero, 1 bad hero. So you should not buy Adora. Adora overall is not bad, but it is not as good for the beginner players. Even half a year ago, Adora was much better because the competition was smaller. Now, Ninja Kiwi added a lot of ridiculously powerful, overpowered good new heroes, and Adora is pretty bad if we compare her to the other competition. She has good DPS and she can pop the lead balloons, but Adora just takes too much money in order to become useful. Because for the Adora, you need to Alch buff her, you need to make her the Jungle Drums and Camo Vision Village, ideally the MAB, which already costs more than $10,000. With Adora, you also need to time her abilities and you need to have a good placement for this hero. She also is pretty expensive and you will have to sacrifice your farming or any kind of eco just to make this hero good and useful. Also, you kinda need to... It's the same problem for most of the heroes, where you don't have good strategy variety. You need to base your strategy, your build order around those heroes, and this is a very bad thing because you want to have flexibility with the different builds. Otherwise, the hero is becoming very focused in the very narrow scenarios, which makes it worse hero overall. So this is Adora. Now Ben. Ben, I can't stress this enough. Ben is the best hero for the new players. Just go for the Ben and you will have no problems. The sheer amount of money that you get even by round 40 from this hero alone is the reason why you should buy it. So let's compare these two heroes, Oben and Ben. I would say they're almost equal, but Ben is better in every game mode except the Chimps mode, because in Chimps mode Ben is really bad. But so Ben generates $10,000 before round 40. Oben has some good things. He has brambles, he has tiny buffs, but it's nothing against the Ben, who has a ridiculously good early game. You just place a lot of towers in the beginning. If you want to greed, you greed. If you want to place a lot of defenses, you place a lot of defenses. And you have no apparent limits with this guy. You can do whatever you want. The strat variety with Ben is probably the highest among all other heroes because of just how much flexibility the influx of money gives you in this game. Also, his abilities are not as essential as his passive ability of making you a crap ton of money, but I will go over them just so you understand. Ben's level 3 ability is good, but it has a handicap. When you activate it, it doubles the pierce and damage of the towers, of the 5 towers, but it makes them inactive for a couple of seconds afterwards. So it's a double-edged sword, but if timed correctly, it can be very useful, especially in the half cash mode. And Ben is the only expensive hero that can be used in the half cash mode efficiently, just so you know. Then his level 10 ability is also pretty good because in the early game you can reduce, but don't do this in the any game mode other than half cash. I'm gonna explain to you why shortly. So his ability can reduce all the balloons and blimps up to Zomigods for 1 tier. So by 1 tier, if you have on round 80, you have the Zomigod in general. If you use the Ben's ability shortly after the round starts, or even slightly before the round starts, you can have reduced the reduced blimp. So you're gonna reduce Zomigod to the BFB. You just downgrade everything except the bad balloons. Even the DDTs. DDTs will become the camo region ceramics. But still, you can do this and it will work and it will make wonders for you. Why you don't wanna use this ability often in any game mode except the half cash. In the half cash, you pretty much have no choice and you wanna reduce all the blimps and ceramics as much as possible to the regular balloons. But in the regular game, even though in the description of this ability it says that it doubles the amount of money that you get from the reduced and degenerated balloons, it is a lie when you actually do the math. Because, look, you need to have the numbers so that you understand. First, the amount of money that you get from one ceramic is roughly $20. In the early game. If you reduce the ceramic to the rainbow balloon, you get from one rainbow balloon you earn $8, but with the doubled amount of cash you basically double the 8 by 2 and you get 16. So even though it seems like the money is doubled, the end result, if you reduce the ceramics to the rainbows, you lose $4 from each ceramic. And when you reduce the Moabs to the ceramics, this becomes even more severe because one Moab has 4 ceramics in it. So let's assume that you get around $100 from the Moab. You reduce this number significantly because in general, the Moab has 4 ceramics in it, but when you reduce the Moab using the ability, you get just 1 ceramic. So even if the 20 is doubled, you have only $40 from each Moab, and it is more than twice as low of an income if you were to pop the Moabs organically. So this is the tiny math trick that you need to remember. Don't use level 10 ability excessively. However, it can be useful at the times when you actually need it. Now, let's go with another bad hero for the new players, and it will be Pet Fusty. Pet Fusty is the hero that you also need to base your strategy around. He's bad in the early game, he's good in the late game. It's as short as I can describe him. Don't use this guy if you are new, because you will not be able to maximize his potential. You need to see a few videos, you need to look it up. By the way, I made the video on this hero, so make sure you look it up, how to use all of those heroes. Each hero has their own pros and cons, but for the majority of the new players, Pet Fusty will be bad hero. He has low DPS, bad range, and you don't wanna use him. Now, the second best hero from the paid heroes, Etienne. You wanna buy Etienne very early on. Just, by the way, I'm gonna tell you the order at the very end, so which hero goes after which. For now, let's focus just on the tier list. Etienne has good early game, good mid game, good late game, good everything. He levels up very quickly. At level 8, he allows all the other towers to see camo on the map, including the DDTs, by the way. And what this allows you to do is to place the stronger cross paths of different towers without getting the village, to allow them the camo vision. The perfect example of this is gonna be the Destroyer. So if you were to upgrade the 320 Destroyer, it is a very, very potent tower. But the moment you remove the grapes from the Destroyer, it becomes a pretty weak version of it. So, but it will be able to see the camo, so 302. However, when you have camo vision on 320, it becomes at least 5 times more powerful than the counterpart. So the benefit is so apparent that, like, Etienne is also one of the most broken heroes in the game. He has good level 3 ability that allows him to deal more damage. His level 10 ability is invaluable. It deals with the round 63, round 78. It's good against the round 95 DDTs. Like, level 10 ability of Etienne with his UCAF can destroy the DDTs and it will shred through them. So it's a really good hero in the early, middle and late game, and you will not regret buying this guy. He's also good in the chimps mode, by the way, as well as on all other game modes, including half cash. Even though I don't recommend this guy for half cash, you can still do the half cash mode with this one. It's gonna be playable. Now, let's do another bad hero. For the new players, Churchill. You don't want to buy Churchill. Churchill is, in short, it's way too expensive for the new players. Even though Churchill is the strongest hero in terms of DPS, he is bad for the new players. New players just don't know the rules. They don't know the perfect farming, perfect use of villages, and it will not work out for you. Just don't look into the side of Churchill. He is too expensive, and it will be the waste of money for the new players if they were to buy him the first. Now, Admiral Brickell. Admiral Brickell is a good hero. You use it only on the water maps, but she excels at any water strategy, water map. It's as short as I can describe her. Her level 3 ability doubles the attack damage and allows the water towers to see the not to see the camo, to pop the lead balloons. Also, Brickell has good peers, so you always put her on strong. And if you want to find out more about Admiral Brickell, make sure to look up my hero guide on this hero. Okay, now these two heroes. And at this stage, all the heroes that we have on the map here on the tier list are all really good. All the remaining two heroes are exceptional. And let me begin with PSI probably. PSI is good for you. And now let me explain why. PSI is the newest hero at this stage, and he is also rangeless, meaning that you can place him anywhere and he will be able to pop balloons on each part of the map. In the corners, in the center, doesn't matter to him. But you also want to position him near the track so that his level 3 ability, which stuns all balloon types except the bad balloons, It's so that you can make use of this ability. It's also pretty good. Level 10 ability of the PSI is so broken, it's not even funny. You probably have seen it already. If not, also you can check out the video on my channel. It's the short video where you can see the power of Etienne. It's called PSI is Stupid Strong. What it does? Basically, you can one-shot around 98 with this ability. No, you did not misheard. Just one-shotting all the blimps, all the balloons, like poof, and they are gone. All the balloon and blimp types up to bad balloon. So PSI is the strongest blimp destroyer in the game, except the bad balloons. The strongest bad destroyer is Ezili. That's the only use of her. So, since PSI is really good, also you wanna put him on strong, same as with Admiral Brickell. He has good pierce, but his attack speed is relatively low. It's not the best out of the good heroes, but he is definitely worth it, and if you like it, if you like the concept of this hero and how it works, you definitely should look into it and buy it. And Sauda, the easiest, the best hero for the new players, because she can do everything. She pops all balloon types, she sees camo. Since the level 14 or 13, she can pop lead balloons. She has good DPS against blimps, good DPS even against bad balloons. Her level 3 ability deals good damage to the blimps and the ceramics. It can also pop the lead balloons. Her level 10 ability annihilates everything below the ceramics and below tiers, and it's basically the perfect all-rounder hero, monkey brain hero #1. If you don't want to think, you either buy Ben or Sauda. And this is in short. Sauda doesn't need much buffs, she doesn't need anything. You place her and you win. There is even one tower chimps run where people won the whole chimps mode with using only Sauda. Of course, with the smart use of the abilities, but you can probably imagine that this hero is pretty darn broken if you can complete the chimps with only one tower or two towers using Sauda. And this is pretty much it. And now the meat and potatoes. In what order you will buy those heroes, and what is the best order? Now, hear me out. All of these are good, but there is an order. First one is Ben. For the obvious reasons, he's too good. You wanna begin playing the game, you buy Benjamin. It works on all game modes except chimps. And you wanna play at least 100 games. Like, if you play 100 games, you try hard mode, you try ABR, alternative balloon rounds, you try Impoppable, you try doing a few hard modes with this guy, you try Apocalypse, for example, any other game modes, Ben will be good at. You can also watch a few videos of mine or other YouTubers on how to use Ben properly, and you will strive. Also, the good setting on how to use Ben, you place him and then you upgrade the Ninja 402 and the Alchemist 401. This will carry you up to round 40 easily on every game mode. Next, and here the order is correct. Next, you want to buy either Etienne, PSI or Sauda. Now, let me explain. I personally would buy Etienne first, because Etienne has camo vision for all the towers, he has very quick leveling up, and his permanent UCAF on level 20 is very, very useful. But it's not essential. If you like PSI more, if you like his Psionic Scream level 10 ability that annihilates all the blimps on level 20, feel free to buy this guy. He is just as good as the Etienne, maybe like 5% weaker, but overall PSI is a very, very solid choice. It pops the camo balloons, it pops the LEDs, it's the only hero that one-shots the Moabs and BFBs and Zomagods without the abilities. And even with abilities, he will also one-shot them. And Sauda. Sauda, as I already mentioned, is the monkey brain hero, the easiest hero to use in all game. It's similar to Quincy, but better in terms of damage and the flexibility. Quincy, even though he kinda pops all balloon types, he is not as good against DDTs, for example, as the Sauda, and overall, Sauda is stronger. Sauda is the hero that you place and it deals damage, it just works. Whatever game mode you are in, it works on half cash, on chimps mode, on ABR, on the impoppable, on the apocalypse, on the deflation, on fucking every game mode you can imagine. Sauda will work on this game mode. She's also cheap and you can always place her in the very beginning of the game. So now this is like the second place between those three. Etienne, the good level up balance, level 3 ability that gives more damage, and level 10 ability UCAF. Similar package with PSI, but he's just the different properties. I would say like Etienne is more military monkey, whereas PSI is more magic monkey. And Sauda is like the, I don't know how to call it, the all-arounder, the boss. She can pop and destroy everything. And next you buy Admiral Brickell, because you will need Admiral Brickell for some of the water maps to complete chimps mode on this with this hero. The bottom ones are free ones. Now that you have all of these good heroes, you can start buying the garbage heroes or the low weaker heroes. And remember, after you buy these top 5 heroes, you invest money in the monkey knowledge, because you need to have as many monkey knowledge points as you possibly can. The guide on what monkey knowledge points you need to buy first is on my channel as well, so make sure to check it out. And after you bought all the good heroes and all monkey knowledge points, and you have like 20,000 monkey money more, you can start buying the weaker heroes. First, I would buy Pet Fusty, because there are chimp strategies with Pet Fusty, and it is a good hero if you use it in the narrow scenarios. And when you have all the all-arounders, you start buying the heroes for the narrow scenarios. So Pet Fusty. After that, you buy Churchill, because Churchill is ridiculously fun to use, but also in the very niche scenarios. After that goes Adora. Adora is also good in her own scenarios, and Ezili, which is bad in every scenario except the very late game, and even there I wouldn't say she's essential, because other heroes can be more useful in this setting. So this is pretty much it. The order is as follows: Ben, Etienne, PSI, Sauda, Brickell, Pet Fusty, Churchill, Adora, Ezili. Done. This is the order that you wanna buy heroes in. If you have any additional questions, write them in the comments. Me or my subscribers will answer you most likely. And guys, press the like or dislike button right now, depending on what you think about this video tutorial. If you like these things, tell me in the comments. We might do more tier lists, and see ya in the next one. Subscribe now.